ese ritmo se
Hey, welcome back, guys.
We'll get all this figured out.
I almost did it again. We were almost
We're
muted.
over a year in, and we still. So what's up? So we forgot to announce last week that this week was the first week of
Did we title it?
Horror movies. Yeah, we didn't give it a title yet. We'll figure out a title.
I think last time we called it Scaretober.
Yeah.
Do we want to go with Scaretober, or do we want to go with something else?
Let's make it unique.
Okay.
So put in the comments what you want us to title this month,
we can use your inputs.
We'll give it a thought. So we'll change the tile to whatever is decided.
That's right.
So you'll get to see that.
That's going to be your
by
prize.
tomorrow.
We're low budget.
Yeah.
No budget.
All right. So exciting. We didn't have a lot of time to watch a lot this week, but we did get a few, and most of them were kid friendly. So if you're looking for a few October Halloween-y-ish movies that are kid friendly, that's kind of what we watched this week, except for the first one that I watched. Definitely horror.
What was that one? I forgot already.
School Spirit is what it was called. We found out it was actually an episode of Into the Dark, season 1, episode 11, but they turned it into a feature-length movie, and that's called School Spirit. But if you're searching for it, you have to look at Into the Dark.
That's weird how they just picked the one episode.
Yeah, I don't know. But, I mean, it's long, so I could see them deciding not to keep it as an episode and making it a movie, because it's really long. It's an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So actually, to be honest with you, I started this one in September when it was school theme, and we were in North Carolina visiting the colleges, and it was nighttime. Everyone else was kind of lights out, and I wasn't tired, so I turned on this movie, and I started watching this movie.
Was I asleep too?
You were doing something else on your computer.
I was up top. Okay.
Yeah, but this is a horror thriller type movie. Yes, I know I picked it without him.
Yes!
Right? I know.
Win! It's a win.
But it was a schooly one, so it fit the theme at the time. Well, I never did finish it, so we never talked about it, and
today.
I finished it the other day.
Goals.
So it's basically about this group of teens who caused trouble in their school, so they were sent to detention. All except for one. She wasn't necessarily sent to detention. She just went because she wanted to.
She went there for fun?
Yeah.
What was it going to attention? What was the appeal?
She's perfect, did everything right all the time, so she wanted to appear that she didn't. And
okay.
So she went. Kind of like Breakfast Club, I guess, because, the one girl in Breakfast Club, she wasn't sent to detention either. She just
went.
Didn't want to be home because her home life was terrible, so she wanted to be at detention instead.
Okay.
So I guess it was kind of like that, but this girl's home life wasn't terrible. She just wanted to be there. I don't know. But anyway, there's a thing with the school that they thought they were haunted. So they thought that there was a ghost of a past teacher who had been killed. I believe, I started in September. I believe it was an accidental death by one of the misfits at the school, one of the troublemakers. So then she decided she was going to forever haunt the school and kill off the misfits, or the kids that caused trouble. So anytime kids would go for detention, one or more would end up dead.
Oh.
So yay, let's go to detention at that school.
So it's not just detention. Detention.
Detention.
That was bad.
Okay, we might be naming all kinds of things today. But anyway, so yeah, this all plays out and they're getting picked off one at a time by this thing that's dressed up, and you think it's this ghosty thing because it looked like the image of her from hundreds of years ago. And but at the end there's a little twist. You find out it's not a ghost. It's actually a fellow student that was killing off the students.
A real student?
He was a little psycho. He was apparently the son of the teacher who was killed. So he was going and killing all the misfits for his mom.
Misfits. Were these really, not that justifies
These are
killing
kids
them.
that just got in trouble for some reason or another.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
They got sent to detention. I mean,
there you go.
If you've been in school, you got sent to detention for various different things. It was not always
could be little,
a terrible
could be small,
thing
or it could be
either.
little, could be big.
Just the teacher was in a bad mood and you got on their last nerve, so they sent you to detention. You didn't even necessarily do anything.
Okay.
So that's these kids. I mean, a couple of them did things that probably warranted them getting more than detention. Others didn't really do anything that terrible.
But they deathed.
Yeah, they ended up all but one. So you got to watch it and find out which one made it through. So one didn't die, and she actually killed the murderer. So, and then, played off this whole story. So, yeah.
What would you rate it?
Rating it. Was it fantastic? No. Was it really that scary? No. I don't know that I would consider it. I mean, there was a few jump scare moments, and there was a lot of blood. A lot of blood.
A lot of blood.
In that aspect, I guess it could be considered horror, but it wasn't like an atypical, really scary horror movie.
Okay.
In my opinion. It was Disney version horror movie.
Oh, so pretty light?
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, sad.
So I would probably give it a 5 out of 10.
All right.
It kept my attention-ish, but it took me 2 months to finish it. So
view at your own risk, guys.
For a month, I guess, to finish it. So that was School Spirit. It's you have to find it through. You could find it on Disney as School Spirit. Otherwise, if you try to find it elsewhere, it's Into the Dark, Season 1, Episode 11.
I wonder if any of the episodes of this anthology are anyway tied, or if it's just...
I don't know.
Well, I guess with anthologies, it's not always related.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't even know it was part of that until you found it when we couldn't find the title to enter it into our log. So, anyway, so there you have that. That was from 2019. So watch it at your own discretion, I guess. Not kid friendly at all. That one was not, absolutely not kid friendly.
Oh, weird. Okay, so it was Disney, but light on the horror. But
It was Disney
still...
adult side, not.
Oh,
It was not in the
okay.
kid side.
It's weird now because now Disney seems to have merged, I guess, Hulu's
With so
content.
many things. Well, they merged with Hulu and Freevee.
Yeah. all
So
the
you
Prime
can get all
stuff.
kinds of junk
Yeah.
on Disney now. So they've
Yep.
kind of watered themselves down, honestly,
Stick with
by
Bluey.
doing this.
Yeah.
I really think they do. They watered themselves down, so you don't know what's Disney anymore.
They should not have kept. Yeah.
They
I agree.
I don't think they should have done it, but you know,
I agree.
I'm sure there was a lot of money in it, and so Disney's about that, and that's, I'm sure why they did that. Mickey, I love Mickey though.
Yeah. Mickey's cool.
Mickey's cool. Okay, the next one is a classic favorite. It's not really super scary, but it's got its scary-esque aspects to it. Edward Scissorhands from 1990.
This movie's
I didn't realize
weird.
it was 1990.
I didn't
guess.
realize it was that old either, but this movie's weird.
So it's a Johnny Depp, atypical Johnny Depp style movie.
Weird.
Yeah, so basically there was this old inventor and he created all kinds of machines and gadgets and things his entire life. And his last big hurrah was going to be to build a human. So he started putting together this human. Well, he had these designs that it would be phased. So this human would become human in phases. So it started that he got human organs, but he would start out with scissor hands.
I'm a real boy.
And then the next phase was, so this was like phase 5 or something. I don't know. It showed the book of the phases. So he had gotten all the way through all the phases up to the final one where his hands were going to be changed from scissor hands to hands. So it was even to the point where the inventor showed him the hands he was going to put on him. He was happy, and the dude keeled over and died right then and there. So Edward never got his human hands. He ended up with his scissor hands. And so he was stuck living in this old mansion by himself all these years. Well, this Avon lady...
Oh, really? She sold Avon?
Avon lady.
Oh, that's really
was going
funny.
door to door. She was getting fed up with all the neighborhood people because none of them were giving her a chance. So she decided, what the heck, I'm going to go to this creepy old mansion up the hill and just announce it on the Avon lady and see if anybody wants Avon or whatever. So she goes, knocks on the door, and nobody answers. She walks in because, you know, that's what I would do when I walk up to a creepy mansion that
You
looks
go inside
like
the
it's
house
haunted.
to check it out?
Walk in.
That's how a lot of...
As an Avon lady with a bag full of makeup as my defense.
Well, with a horror, you have to have some bad decisions.
You have to have some idiot.
Yes.
She was
Horror
it.
requires idiots.
She was it. So she went in and she discovers Edward, and she was nice to him, and he was not a bad guy. He was a nice guy. He was just really shy because it was always ever just him. So she...
Bad guy. That reminds
He
me
wasn't
of...
a bad guy.
No, that reminds me of that line in Wreck-It Ralph. I'm not a bad
I'm not a
guy.
bad guy.
Just a bad,
Bad
guy.
Okay, you know you're going to get movie quotes from movie quoters, right? Hey, what's up?
Hey.
So, she ends up taking Edward home. Can you imagine how that's going to go in a Stepford neighborhood, right? So if you've ever seen Stepford Wives, it's kind of like that. Everything is...
It's a really pristine neighborhood, right?
Well, everything was the same. All the cars were the same. They had the same routine. They did all the same stuff all the time, right? So she brings
they're
this...
very gossipy.
Yes, very,
town.
very small towny.
Yeah.
So she brings this strange guy home. So, of course, he's an instant attraction. They all want to meet him. They all want to see him. They all want a piece of him. Yes, you got that right. That's, especially the town
Okay.
whore. She goes right for him. So this is mostly kid-friendly, but there's a few scenes that we had to skip through because it was a little too provocative with the town whore. And Edward. So beware of that if you watch it with kids.
Explicit
there
in
wasn't.
this one?
I mean,
It was
there
very
is in that
suggestive.
scene. And there wasn't really language that I remember hearing though. So it was pretty clean as far as that goes. There's just watch those couple scenes.
It's really weird.
So parents,
Yeah.
I would recommend watching it ahead of time so you know where those scenes are, so you know what you want to skip for your kids. Because there are a couple scenes that probably not young kid appropriate. Teenager appropriate maybe, but not young kid appropriate. But anyway, so he's really talented, obviously, with his scissors, and he can trim hedges. Well, he ended up in the scheme of things ended up trimming dog's hair. Well, then one of the town whore decided she wanted him to try to cut her hair. So then that became a thing. So he's cutting everybody's hair and
He did
shrubs and
ice sculptures
yeah,
too.
he did ice. So he was super talented with his blades, right? And one of the ladies in the town knew how to sharpen blades, so she was sharpening up his blades for him whenever they got dull and all this stuff. So he tried living amongst the normal people, but of course, when he would get excited or upset about something, like we do, he moves with his hands. So his hands were giant blades. So he was cutting people and hurting people, but not meaning to. So
Not everybody saw it that way.
right. And of course, there was the town drunk teenager, too, who was attracted to the girl that Edward ended up being attracted
That
to.
guy was a goof. He was just it seemed like a
An
random bully
idiot.
in the movie.
He was an idiot, and he was somebody that you want to see exit the movie, right?
Yeah.
He got exited from the movie, all right. He ended up skewered by Edward. And
Did he get, as the kids say, unalived?
he got unalived.
I hate that word.
Yeah. So anyway, watch it. It's a good. Is it Tim Burton? You would ask me that.
It feels like a Tim Burton film.
It does feel like a Tim. It is Tim Burton.
Yeah, okay. It's
Yep.
got Winona Ryder in it.
It's definitely Tim Burton feel, and yeah, it's got Johnny Depp and Winona Ryder, the infamous pair. So
Yeah.
it's got them, Diane Wiest, and several others in it.
and
Kathy Baker,
I don't know,
big names.
the ending had some good closure to it,
Yeah.
I guess, to the Edward's character.
Edward lived free. So you got to watch and see what we mean by that, because there were several that wanted to lock him away and thought that he was danger to society, but his love protected him. So watch it. Let us know what you think. Tell us if you like it or not. What
man.
you would rate it. So what's your rating on this one?
I'd probably rate it a 6.
Stop it. Pitiful. He doesn't appreciate a good Tim Burton movie. He just doesn't. Tim Burton is
Did he do
the kind of movies I enjoy. I think that they're creepy and weird and fascinating and cool.
Did he do Sweeney Todd?
He's going to diss Sweeney Todd now.
Did he do Sweeney Todd? Because that was enjoyable.
I don't know. Now you're going to make me look it up.
I can't remember.
I don't remember.
What other Tim
Are you
Burton-
going to say good things or bad things about Sweeney Todd? Sweeney Todd was a book, you know.
Yeah,
So it was based off of a book.
but Johnny Depp was in that one too, I'm pretty
He
sure.
was, yes, with the other creepy girl. What's her
Yeah.
name? She's always creepy in every movie she's in. And she
And-
plays a creepy part
and I-
phenomenally.
And I think she was the same girl that was in Sleepy Hollow, right?
Is this the right? That's not even the right Sweeney Todd. Who knew there were multiples? Johnny Depp. Okay, so it's the one he's talking about is Sweeney Todd, the demon barber of Fleet Street.
Who was the female?
Helen Carter. Helena Carter. Tim Burton. It is Tim Burton. It has to. I mean, it's the Tim Burton feel all over itself. So yes.
What are some other? The only
Alan Rickman is in it.
Corpse Bride is Tim Burton, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Halloween Before Christmas is
The Nightmare Before
Nightmare
Christmas. No love or appreciation for good Tim Burton. Shame on you.
I mean, that
And
was a good
you're
one.
A Halloween lover.
Yeah. Nightmare Before Christmas was good. This is Halloween.
So Sweeney Todd.
Yeah, I like Sweeney Todd.
It's just very gory.
I like Sweeney Todd.
Very gory.
I like Pie.
Actually, we should put that on the list.
Yeah. We didn't watch that one. Like Pie.
If you don't know what I mean, watch it with us.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Back to our stuff here. Stop it. What did you rate it? You rated it a 6?
6, yeah.
Okay. Edward Scissorhands. I give it an 8. It's a solid Tim Burton 8.
Ah, it's a cut above the rest.
You're so corny. Oh, there's something wrong with him. Okay, anyway, we're moving on past the cut above the rest. The next one is a yearly watch for us. We watch it every year around Halloween. It's not always October, but the kids have loved it. Monster House from 2006. Actually, you suggested this one because we were thinking of clean Halloween movies that we could watch.
I also like the film Coraline, which is animated sort of in a similar fashion.
It's in the theater 3D right now. So
Coraline
if you want to go see Coraline 3D in the theater, get you some tickets and go.
Yeah, Coraline is just a really imaginative, visually appealing movie.
Also Tim Burton.
See? I like Tim Burton films. But Monster House is kind of the same...
it's the same creepiness, but it's claymation. So it's different look to it.
I feel like it adds to the story.
Absolutely.
They get these quirky characters, and the way they made them look really accented their different characteristics. You got the, is she considered a punk rocker girl?
The babysitter?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. Like,
and then your
rocker.
typical, I don't know, metalhead dorko, like kind of like the
drunk.
guy from
He was a drunk.
Oh, he reminds me of that band member dude from Diary of a Wimpy Kid who was trying to get. He sat at the dinner table with their family.
Oh, Roderick. Yeah, the guy that tried to be in Roderick's band.
Yeah, just
dorky.
And then
yes.
a name, one of the characters' names is Chowder, which is.
I don't understand. Who would name their kid Chowder? That is not a name. That is a food. It's not a name. It's a food.
Yeah, that's right. It's good food.
It's not even a good nickname. Who would name? And the parents called and said,
Bill.
Bill.
Who's Bill? Who Bill? Who this?
Who's Bill?
Clarify.
Yeah, explain. Explain, Bill, goofball.
Oh, but so they have this neighbor that they're spying on because this house has a reputation. And they're kind of creeped out by it.
It's haunted. So it's known to be haunted. Like the house. Well, actually, they thought the guy was the one that was mean.
He always yelled at them.
Yes.
Always yelled at the kids.
They suspected a haunting, that there was something creepy going on at the house. But the guy, the owner that lived there, was always yelling at the kids. Didn't want the kids. The guy.
He was the rocker.
Oh, got it. Bill. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for clarifying. That was the dorky rocker guy from Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Bill. Anyway, so back to the house. He never let kids come on his property. Yep. And if they came on the property, he would take whatever they had with them and kick them off.
He was very defensive. He was doing everything that he could to try to keep, like she just said, everybody off his property.
And they kind of try to find things out about the house. Nevercracker was his name. He ended up having a heart attack and goes to the hospital. Well, the neighborhood kids thought he was dead, so they started snooping around the house. Well, in the meantime,
that's what you do.
Right, you snoop around a scary house when your neighbor died. It's the making of a horror movie, right?
And it's funny. The way these kids did it, it was funny.
But am I right? All horror movies are the same.
Yeah.
They do stupid things in a stupid house and expect things to not go wrong.
There is a template to a horror movie. That's why it's hard to make one good. But this one's really entertaining.
It is. It's a good, clean kid one. Yeah. But anyway, so the kids go and explore in this creepy house, and they find out the reason why Nevercracker was so protective of the house, because the house was the ghost of his ex-wife who died beneath the house.
So that's an interesting backstory. You'll have to watch the movie to see what that's about.
And you have to find out what happens at the end.
Yeah, it explains everything.
He does turn corners, and he changes and realizes he has to release his wife's spirit.
Which was cool to see, because in the very beginning, the bitterness that you saw from him, you just thought that you really didn't want to see any more of him in the movie. So it was kind of cool to see him turn around.
Yeah, and all that bitterness melted away.
That's a good one. Melted away. Yeah, it did. It was a good change.
So, I love it. I think it's a solid 7 out of 10.
Oh, I was gonna say 7.5.
Okay, there you
Yeah.
go. 7 to 7.5 out of 10. Claymation style movies are generally not my favorite, but I definitely think that this added to the creepy esque of the movie. So I think for this one, it was needed. It was necessary to be that style.
I think if I were to see this movie or Coraline animated any differently, I don't think I would enjoy
it
it
would
as
have
much.
lost its appeal for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that was Monster House from 2006. The next one. So the next two on our list, we didn't finish. The one we're not going to finish. So we'll tell you about why. That one was, it actually auto-played after Monster House, and we kind of just left it to see what it was. The Dog Who Saved Halloween from 2011. So we both commented that the videography was weird.
You can tell if you're watching a movie, or if you're watching something from Hallmark, or if you're watching some other TV series, or if you're watching a home video.
Yeah,
You can tell.
It had a home video feel.
Yeah.
But it had big actors, big name actors in it. So
The audio sounded fine, but the lighting is not that of
was-
your regular theatrical film.
So it had Gary Valentine, which we looked it up because we suspected that is the brother of Kevin James. Who knew?
Kevin James, also known as King of Queens. Here Comes the Boom.
And they're in that together.
Yeah.
I had no idea they were brothers until our 13-year-old said, "Hey, I think they look like brothers. I bet they are." And he looked it up, and sure enough, they were. So that was interesting.
Is that what he sounds like?
Yeah. Sorry, kid. And then Dean Cain is also in this one. Elisa Donovan. I mean, there's big names in this one. So
Dean Cain, wasn't he in some kind of Superman
Mayim
series?
Balak. I always say her name.
Mayim Bialik?
Yeah.
Blossom. She was Blossom. I didn't recognize who
Joey
she was.
Lawrence is in it. I mean, there's
Unless-
a lot of big names.
Maybe she was just a voice actor. Maybe that's why we didn't see her.
No, she's Medusa. Oh, that's the dog. The other dog.
Oh, really?
And Zeus is Joey Lawrence. So the two dogs. The dogs talked in this one.
Wow, that's what he looks
But
like
the
now?
humans didn't hear them talking. But
Must have a lot of
we could hear the dogs talking. It was weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. It did not keep our attention. I have no idea what the point of the movie was. I watched all but the last 10 minutes, and I have no clue what they were trying to do with this movie. All I know is there was a creepy neighbor next door who ordered this big machine that they suspected was stolen from some nuclear plant, and he was creating some creepy something in his attic. That's all I got out of the whole movie. And then there was only 10 minutes left, and I go, meh.
Yeah. So it was worth talking about because we want to warn you about these kinds of things. Yeah. And I will say, just because the quality of the video is not up to par of regular movies, I think an example of that would be Flywheel from the Sherwood. What's it called? Sherwood?
Yeah, Sherwood.
Forest. Sherwood Films from the church.
Yes.
They did Facing the Giants and War Room.
The Kendrick brothers.
Yes, there you go. And it was poor quality, but you were interested in
Yeah.
the characters. It was a good story,
Yeah.
but you could tell it was their first movie.
Yes.
But it was great.
Yeah.
It was really good. Good acting too.
It was decent acting.
Yeah.
They needed practice.
They needed practice, but
They didn't do too bad for a first time go around.
It kept me engaged, but this film, I was bored.
Boring is an understatement of what this movie was. And I at one point said, "Do you get any of this movie?" And they're both like,
C'était ennuyeux. Ennui.
So I don't know. I hate the movies where the animals talk. Honestly,
What about Doolittle? Dr. Doolittle? Oh, look, a giant egg. Norm Macdonald.
Okay, then maybe that's slightly an exception, but that's still a cheesy, corny movie, and I don't.
You scared the crap out of me. See, there it is.
Like I said, I don't like movies where animals talk. I think it takes away from the movie because, y'all, animals don't talk.
Yeah, they don't. Sorry.
So,
for those of you that talk to your pets.
I mean, you can talk to your pet, but your pet's not going to talk back.
But we always, what pet owners always say to their pets? Oh, I know.
Do I do that?
I mean, I do it too. Yeah, we both do it. Mainly with cats.
Because we know what they're thinking. We don't know what they're saying. Okay, and the next movie, you're ridiculous. I got too tired and we turned it off and we're about halfway through. So we're not going to talk about that one at all because we don't want to ruin that one. That one might actually be, I don't know, something. Maybe not. It didn't really interest me so far, but maybe it'll have some reviving qualities.
Yeah, I have words to say about that one too.
We'll see. And then the last one is called Unbreakable from 2000. So, the 13-year goofy laugh. Our 13-year-old and I watched one of the movies in this trilogy. So
Split.
Unbreakable, right? Glass, and
Glass.
Split.
I think you guys watched Split.
Were the 3 movies. So we watched Split, not realizing at the time that it was the 3rd in this trilogy. So then last night we decided to go back and watch. We saw that Unbreakable was now free. So we went ahead and watched it. And it was the first.
Did you guys talk about Split yet?
I don't think. Yeah, I think I talked about it.
Oh,
but we can talk about it when you watch it.
Because I need to watch it, yeah. And
And it'll be good to talk about it after we've watched the first 2.
Yeah.
We'll have a different perspective on it, I think. So for Unbreakable, I had no idea it was going to be like a superhero type movie.
It totally does not say. So this is an M. Night Shyamalan movie, and he's got I've said it before, he's got a unique way of telling a story. And he usually has a twist at the end, and it's a good twist.
It is. I had no clue until the very end that it was a superhero style movie.
But kind of like,
because he just disguised it that well.
Yeah, and kind of like a Sixth Sense, the movie is generally quiet and very slow paced, and then it just ramps up. Yeah. And then you figure everything out.
Yeah. So, this one's actually really good. I don't want to give too much of it away. So how can we describe this one without giving too much of it away? You go ahead and try.
Okay. You got this. You figure out that Bruce Willis is the father in this family, husband and wife.
I totally got Sixth Sense vibes too.
Yeah.
Some of it was kind of like, wow, I could see this happening in Sixth Sense with Bruce Willis. So I don't know what it is about him and
M. Night
psychopaths that come after him. So yeah, anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, so he's, their marriage is struggling, and the other focuses on Samuel L. Jackson's character. You learn that he's got a disease where if he falls, lots of bones are going to break. And then, but Bruce Willis's character, you learn at the beginning of the movie, it establishes that he's a survivor of a really serious train wreck where there were everybody but him. He was.
Well, there were multiple incidences. It wasn't just one incident. There was. Throughout his life, there were several different accounts of near-death experiences where he could not die.
And he was not putting this stuff together until Glass's character notices this. And so he approaches him, and he inserts himself into his life, and then this is where the story develops.
He inserts himself in his life in a very gruesome way.
Yeah.
And you have to watch it lots of people suffer.
You learn things
for him to make this connection with Bruce Willis.
And so I think that's what I really like about the movie, especially if it's not the first time for me seeing this, but if it's the first time of you viewing this movie, then Shyamalan does a really cool way of, as she said, kind of masking the things that have been going on in the background, and he keeps a lot of the story under wraps, but then he unwraps it really nicely towards the end.
And I really feel like it's a movie you have to watch more than once, because I feel like there's still bits and pieces that I didn't catch or didn't pick up that I want to go back and watch it again so I can connect those dots that I missed within just the story in itself. I mean, it's an hour and 46-minute movie, so it's nearly a 2-hour movie. It's an investment of time.
And it's got that rewatchable quality.
It has that where you almost have to rewatch it. You almost
Yeah.
have to see it that second time to really go, this had to do with this, and this caused this, and this was this, and this person did this, and
I think Lady in the Water requires lots of rewatching
yeah,
too. That's a really confusing
So that's
one.
one of M. Night's things, I think.
Yes,
like
that's
his
his
movies,
style.
you don't get it completely by watching it once.
Yeah.
So I think he commits you to multiple viewings of his movie, which I'm sure was financially intentional.
And he
But-
he makes a cameo in this one just like he does
Yep.
with those other
and
films.
actually a
It's-
decent length cameo.
Yes.
Usually it's
Yeah.
like a blink, he's there and gone. But
yeah.
except for Old, I guess he was in Old for quite a long time.
I forget which. Oh, he was one of the more main.
He was
characters,
one
right?
of the guys who
Elaborate.
was
Yeah.
watching the seers.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's significant role he plays in this one.
I would probably rate this one at 8.
Okay, yeah, I'd probably give it an 8 too. It's good. Like I said, I want to rewatch it again. I don't think that would change my rating. I think it would just help me to understand a little bit better kind of the play out of the whole thing.
I was really interested in Glass's character because, what was Bruce Willis's character name? I forgot already.
Oh, shoot. Let me see. And the second movie is called Mr. Glass. So it's about Glass. David Dunn.
Oh, look at that.
And Elijah Price is Samuel L. Jackson's character, Glass.
And so, you're kind of interested in David in the beginning, and it took a while for me to grow on to be interested in his character, but I was kind of intrigued throughout the whole film about what this Glass guy is up to.
Yeah. You find out,
You find out.
and you don't really like him so much once you find out.
Yeah.
He's intriguing, yes, but you want to hate him then when you
Yeah.
find out what's all went down.
Ooh, doggy.
So anyway, you got to watch it and find out what we're talking about. Guest, what did you think of it overall? What would be your rating? Pop on here and let us know, because I know you're watching.
Bueller. Bueller.
Okay, well, hopefully he'll jump on and tell us.
Maybe there's a broadcast delay too. I don't know what it
And he's
is.
probably playing a game anyway. If you didn't know, Guest is our son, so he pops on to watch and help us with the reviews. But anyway, that is our first week of Halloween.
We will get more in there.
Yeah. So I actually have a day off. Oh, 7.5 out of 10. Okay.
Rock
so he's
on.
just below what we rated it. So we're hoping to watch a bunch more good ones this week. Our son would vote for thrillers, so we'll probably throw in a few thrillers that he can watch with us and maybe help us review for next time. But I've got a list already in my head. I haven't written it down, but I've got a few that I've been wanting to watch, and I kind of enjoy scanning through the options that we have and kind of seeing what pops up to my mood at the moment. That can be good and bad. Sometimes they turn out to be really terrible movies.
I need to make a list too.
Sometimes they turn out good. But if there's a movie you want us to watch that you'd love to get us for us to watch, I saw that Annabelle Comes Back is on. So we watched Annabelle last year.
Was that the title of the movie, Annabelle?
Yeah, Annabelle. That's the creepy doll.
Was that related to The Conjuring or not?
Yes, we
It
found
is. Oh,
out
it is.
after
Okay.
that was the same creepy doll. So
what
this
were you
is
saying
a
about
return.
Annabelle? Is there
The
an-
second one.
Is this a
Annabelle
recent?
Comes Back.
Or is this a recent release? Or is that what you
No,
said?
it's
Oh.
just the second one. And it wasn't free last year,
Oh,
so
okay,
we
okay.
didn't watch it. But it was on our list last year.
I liked Annabelle.
It was creepy.
Yeah, it was good.
Creepy. So we'll probably watch that one at some point this month. So there's lots. we will rewatch some old goodies that we have to watch every time.
Yeah, of course.
All Tim Burton movies. Because I like them and they're so good. But yeah, give us some suggestions of what you like. I'm sure we'll have some haunting movies in there, and because what's Halloween without haunting?
Possession movies, adoy.
Yeah, so throw us your list. Let us know what you'd love for us to watch. If there's any that come out this year, came out last year that you think are really great, then pop those in there. We'd love to give those a look. Last year's are probably free this year, so we could give them a watch.
Even, yeah, movies. The Exorcist. I think the original Exorcist was from the 70s.
What was the one
And
we
that was
just
scary.
talked about we wanted to watch that came up in conversation today?
Today?
Poltergeist.
Oh yeah, because she saw that they had the house
old
was recently
Poltergeist
purchased.
house, yeah, was recently purchased by these investors, and they're gonna flip the house and turn it into the original movie scene
I told her they
as
need
an
to
Airbnb, so you can go and rent it.
I told her they need to put the moving chair. If you guys know what the scene is, then you'll know. But
I'm sure they will. I mean, what is that house without that?
yeah, they
They'd have
slide the
to.
chair down in the kitchen and then just kind of swerves on this flat surface. So it does something supernatural.
I honestly, y'all, have never seen that movie all the way through. I've seen bits and pieces and clips from it, but I've never seen the movie all the way through. And for him, it's been a couple decades.
It's been since I was a kid, so I was scared of it when I was little, but I would like to watch it and see
As an
what
adult.
this. Yeah, I actually understand the
So
movie.
we're gonna see if we can get a hold of that one. I doubt it's gonna be free this month anywhere because that's a big hit. But maybe we can try to snag it from the library or something.
And maybe watch Amityville.
Amityville.
There's lots of
is-
Amityville movies.
is
Gotta
good.
find the good one.
The original one is the good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, Month of Creepy. Hey,
There you
that's
go.
a good
Month
movie.
of
Month
Creepy.
of Creepy.
Yeah. See?
That's our new name.
That's
Month
how we
of
make
Creepy.
decisions.
Okay, so yeah, come back and check us out next week on week 2 of Month of Creepy. I really am not sure what our Tuesday movie's going to be, so you got to pop on Tuesday and find out what that is because we
Maybe-
don't even know yet.
Maybe it'll just be short.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It'll be maybe a surprise for all of us.
Yeah.
So jump on Tuesday and find out what movie we decided to do. And then are you going to do a Friday fave?
Yeah,
Possibly.
because I was in the middle of writing it, and so I just need to finish it, and there should be something
so
this Friday.
Fave. And then, of course, our live next Sunday for week 2 of Creepy.
Oh, God, I forgot it already. What is it?
Okay, whatever name we come up with. Because
Month of Creepy.
Month of Creepy.
Ah,
There we
Month
go.
of Creepy.
So, okay.
Oh.
See you guys. Thanks for watching.
Check you next time.
Bye.
Check you next time.